I started working in restaurants when I was 15. And then as I got older, I found myself in New York having to also like work in restaurants to support myself. And that's kind of when I started to fall in love with the industry because I'd never worked in like a big city like that before. And I mean, the New York restaurant scene, I think is probably the best out there. That's when I really kind of thought that, oh, like culinary was a career that I could pursue. It's really hard to have friends outside of your restaurant world because you spend so much time in the restaurant and that becomes your life. Like they become your family. It was good that I met my wife at, we worked in restaurants next door to each other. So that was a benefit, but I felt incredibly burnt out. And again, was kind of thinking to myself, I don't know how much longer I'm going to continue to do this. And then all of a sudden, 2020, like the pandemic, coronavirus blows up in New York. So when 2020 happened, when the pandemic hit New York, there were many questions that I had no answers to. Where was I going to go in my career? Was there even a career for me in hospitality anymore? Maybe there was, but it certainly wasn't going to look like it did before. And yeah, it was scary. It was scary to have so many unknowns. I did a lot of like soul searching during that time. I read a lot of like books about like manifestation and self-help, and I really wanted to go far with hospitality, and not having that anymore, especially something that I knew I was good at and I felt very confident in, and like having basically like the rug ripped right beneath you. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted out, but I wasn't sure how I was going to do that. So I kind of had to think outside of the box in terms of how I was going to use my skills in hospitality, and how was I going to market that to other industries so that I would look like attractive to, whether it be like hiring managers. I have to say, like, that time, like 2020, changed the course of my life. It forced me to reevaluate everything that I had thought about myself as a person, of the world, and there were a lot of, light bulb moments. I said to myself, you have to take matters into your own hands and you have to do something else. You'll find a way. And I'm a very determined person. So if there is something I want, if there is something I want to go after, nothing's out of your reach. You can do it. You can do it. You just have to think about it, plan, and find a way. But there's always a way that you can achieve what you want. I was just looking for jobs on this network called Good Food Jobs. And I saw a post about a sales position at a food distribution company. And it was out of restaurants. It was restaurant adjacent. So it was something that I felt comfortable doing. I took the time to apply, and I almost didn't submit the application. Should I or shouldn't I? And the next morning, I was like, no, you have to finish it. Whatever happens, just finish the application. Don't blow this off. Something was telling me, no, you've got to follow through with this. I ended up getting the job. I got hired. I spent 2 years at this company learning about sales, learning how to, learning about the business. Because sales, whether you're in tech or in food distribution, it's very much the same. You have a product that you want to sell, and it's most of the time it is so reliant on building relationships with other people. And so after my time with the food distribution company, I decided to kind of dabble and think about potentially jumping into an entirely different industry, which was tech. I had 2.5 years worth of sales experience under my belt. And so I felt comfortable enough to see if I could, make the jump into another industry, which tech was, my goal. So I applied for a couple of months, and eventually I ended up interviewing with my boss now, and two of my other colleagues. And then I would say maybe a week or so after that, offered me the job. I couldn't believe it. I was pretty shocked. There are still moments where I feel a little bit imposter syndrome. What is this tattooed restaurant girl doing in like the tech industry. But again, anything is possible if you really work hard at it and, you know, get creative, honestly, like find creative ways to make it. And that's exactly what I did. Being where I am right now, I never would have dreamed that would have been possible when I was in culinary school. Like if someone told me that, hey, you're gonna be working at a tech company, you know, in a couple years after you graduate, how does that sound? And I would have looked at them like they're crazy. Tech has given me the opportunity to be able to grow in many different aspects. Professionally, because within tech, there are so many opportunities and so many avenues you can explore. I'm in sales now, but with my job, I could, you know, if I wanted to get into like project management or product design, because of the company that I work with, they're so willing to like allow people to explore those things that they're interested in. You know, that in and of itself is super exciting. And then just like I mentioned before, like personally, working in tech has allowed me to have a life outside of my job. Like my job is not my life. And I think a lot of tech companies want people to have that balance. I'm able to have a life. I'm able to pursue hobbies that I never would have been able to do had I still been in hospitality. So it's been a very long journey, but a really rewarding one. Working in tech has allowed me to fall in love with cooking again, because I've been able to like step away from it and like coming back to it. I cook for joy. Like I cook for myself. I love hosting and cooking for other people. Like honestly, it's probably like my love language. That's how I show people I care about them, is by cooking. And it's been really fun to get back into that, and it's not a chore anymore. It's something I genuinely enjoy doing.
Voila.
Full success.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gabby, this is so good.
Thank you.
No, I want.